Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 11th of February. Now last week we started to see some better market conditions coming along, mainly with the sort of strengthening of the US dollar. That allowed for some of these markets to start to gain a bit of momentum and also to start to see some of these sort of strengths, some of these sort of trends to start to open up. So some of these markets and some of the trends are starting to look a little bit more interesting now with a little bit more momentum behind them. So let's come and take a look at some of the markets here that we're going to be keeping a close eye on in the trading room this week. Now, if we come and take a look at the US indices first, our favorite market to trade the US indices is the mini Dow future. Taking a look at this on the daily chart, we can see that last week we were looking for a move up towards the 25,500. We were looking for that level to get sort of tested. That was the next sort of decision point above 25,000. Now, the market made a good run for it throughout the first half of the week, but then news flow wasn't supportive and the market came back and retested 25,000. Now the 25,000 area, a key level on this market. It's also back into the moving averages. It's a big psychological number as well. And a level that's been tested multiple times on this market too. So the interesting thing is that last week the market failed to close underneath 25,000. It just sort of like rejected off there. So again, that's looking positive for a retest of the 25,500 this week. The challenge, of course, with all of these markets, the driver that's going to drive this market there is going to be news flow. And again, if the news flow is positive, then we could start to look for 25,500 test in the early part of the week. If the market can't move higher, then I think, the market rolls over and takes out 25,000 again, then we could see an easy move back down here towards that sort of 24,600 area. And that could be a sort of fairly easy move here on the macro perspective picture. If we come and take a look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see that on the 4-hour, we've got a bit more structure here to help us to identify our trading decisions. So just above price at the moment, there's a level around 25,200. If the market can be above there, I mean, this is Monday morning in the Globex session. So if the market can get above there, in the early part of the week, this level could act as support, and that's going to sort of give us a good position for an easy retest up there to 25,500. If the market sort of again sort of rolls back over, you can see that we've got 25,000 that we saw on the daily. We've got another level just underneath 25,000. It's around 24,900. If that level gets taken out, there's not a lot in the way for that 24,600 area to be retested that we saw there on the daily as well. So again, we've got some very decisive structure here, and depending upon the direction that this market prevails. But at this moment, our focus is on the long side. Now, if we come and have a look at our favorite commodity in focus this week, this is going to be oil, because there's quite a lot of news due out on oil through the later part of the week. Now, from a higher time frame perspective, oil has been sort of contained between sort of $50 and $55 level for quite some time. But for us here, that's quite a large range. That's a $5 level range on this market, and that's not particularly helpful for us for trading. So if we come down to the 4-hour time frame, we can start to see this in a bit more perspective. We've got our $50 level down the bottom. We've got our $55 level at the top. We can see that there are a number of other levels and structure points here that the market has tested multiple times. But I think the most interesting one and significant one at the moment is this $52 level area. Now the market's bouncing off 52 several times here, as you can see on the 4-hour time frame. The market is in the context of a short trend on this sort of 4-hour time frame, but there's divergence as the market's tested the area, and of course we've got news announcements on oil through the latter part of the week, and the supply of oil and that supply chain is going to be crucial as to which way the oil price goes. So again, just what it highlights is that the importance of this decision point area here on oil. I think if the 52 level gets taken out, I think we could start to see an easy sort of escalation for a move back down towards that $50 level. If the market does find support here and it takes out 53, then I think we've got an easy sort of a relatively easy sort of move here back up for a retest up there towards that $55 level as well. Now, if it can get above these highs here, just above that $55 level, then I think we're going to see some interesting sort of opportunities to the long side on oil. So we'll certainly be, if we do have anything in here, any sort of positions left in here, we'll certainly sort of leave a little bit open to see how that sort of runs for a longer run. Now, if we come and take a look at the favorite sort of currency markets for this week. So for us here, we're seeing quite a bit of strength in the US dollar. And if we see that continued strength in the US dollar, then our favorite market here to consider opportunities on is the dollar yen. Now, dollar yen has been, it hasn't been sort of very tradable since, well, it's really sort of since the sort of start of the year. It's been very sort of choppy, very sort of sideways. But markets now started to turn around. Here on the daily chart, we've now got a long trend formed here. We've also got convergence on the market too. So we can see that the 110 level, which is a very significant price point on this market and contained the market last week, price is now broken through there this morning. This is on the back of a strong dollar, and the market's just pushed up to 110.20. Now 110.20 is the last sort of decision point area that we have on this market. Above this level, there's not a lot in the way up towards 111, and that's the sort of near-term opportunity that we're looking for. So if we can see continued strength in the dollar above 110.20 up towards for a test up here to 111 is what we're sort of aiming for here as well. Now, certainly at the moment here on the 4 hour, the market's a little bit stretched. It's had a big momentum move this morning. So some sort of consolidation, a bit of a pullback, possibly a pullback to 110 could be sort of quite nice for some potential entry points for this market to the long side. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.